For 18 years, the American media was prohibited from showing photographs of fallen soldiers' coffins. In February 2009, Defense Secretary Robert Gates lifted this ban and images flooded onto the internet. Officially, family members have to give their approval before anything is published, but such a rule is unenforceable. Why was this ban created in the first place? To conceal the true costs of war? We can easily find out the number of casualties, but statistics leave us cold. People, on the other hand, especially dead people, spark an emotional reaction. Good morning, everybody. And good morning to everybody on BIGO, but also on Zoom. And everybody on Zoom has a nice background today. Mladen, who is on the Zoom as well, was good enough to share how to put a proper and a good Zoom background. And now my Zooms look a lot better. Wherever you are, it is good to see you. Thank you for joining. Rich Dad Poor Dad is the book that we wanted to read. I only have the Chinese version. I'm learning Chinese, but there's a very good chance that you might not. And even if you do speak Chinese, you're probably expecting me to read in English. We're reading The Art of Thinking Clearly, and that does not show up very well on the Zoom with the new background. So I'll have to figure that out at some. Oh, there we go. That's one way of doing it. Okay, so The Art of Thinking Clear, we're up to chapter 87, and it's called Why You Prefer Novels to Statistics. It's the subtitle Personification. Let's get into it so that you can go out and work on your goals and dreams for the rest of the week. There's only one day left today. Let's put in some really great effort. And nice to meet everybody that is saying hello on BIGO. And we'll quickly follow a couple of people who are commenting and who are joining today. Oops. There we go. So I've just sent some follows through to everybody. Here we go, chapter 87. For 18 years, the American media was prohibited from showing photographs of fallen soldiers' coffins. In February 2009, Defense Secretary Robert Gates lifted this ban and images flooded onto the internet. Officially, family members have to give their approval before anything is published, but such a rule is unenforceable. Why was this ban created in the first place? To conceal the true costs of war? We can easily find out the number of casualties, but statistics leave us cold. People, on the other hand, especially dead people, spark an emotional reaction, especially if you can see that there is somebody who has passed away. Why is this? For eons, groups have been essential to our survival. Thus, over the past 100,000 years, we have developed an impressive sense of how others think and feel. Science calls this the theory of mind. Here's an experiment to illustrate it. You're given $100 and must share it with a stranger. You can decide how it's divided up. If the other person is happy with your suggestion, the money will be divided that way. If he or she turns down your offer, you must return the $100 and nobody gets anything. How do you split the sum? It would make sense to offer the stranger very little, maybe just $1. After all, it's better than nothing. However, in the 1980s, when economists began experimenting with such ultimatum games, the technical term for that, by the way, the subjects behaved very differently. They offered the other party between 30 and 50%. Anything below 30% was considered unfair. The ultimatum game is one of the clearest manifestations of the theory of mind. In short, we empathize with the other person. It's very often we don't really survive if we don't help look after other people and if we don't connect and understand the other person. So this is why this works. However, with one tiny change, it is possible to nearly eliminate this compassion. Put the players in separate rooms. When people can't see their counterparts, or indeed when they have never seen them, it is more difficult to simulate their feelings. The other person becomes an abstraction, and the share that they are offered drops on average to below 20%. It's interesting how we really need other people to be able to feel for them, to understand their body language, to see what it is that they are thinking, all of those different things. So this is really, really fascinating. In another experiment, psychologist Paul Slovic asked people for donations. One group was shown a photo of Rokia from Malawi, an emancipated child with pleading eyes. Afterward, people donated an average of $2.83 to the charity out of $5 they were given to fill out a short survey. The second group was shown statistics about the famine in Malawi, including the fact that more than 3 million malnourished children were affected. The average donation dropped by 50%. This is illogical, or is it? I don't really think so. You would think that people's generosity would grow if they knew the extent of the disaster, but we do not function like that. Statistics don't stir us. People do. This is very, very important to realize. Excuse me. The media have long known that factual reports and bar charts do not entice readers. Hence the guideline, give the story a face. If a company features in the news, a picture of the CEO appears alongside, either grinning or grimacing, depending on the market. And also, very important to that one, if they want the company to look bad, they will put the CEO grimacing or looking like he's a little bit of an idiot with a face that he got caught. That's not really his real expression, but that he was just caught in the wrong moment, that kind of thing. And if they want the company to look good, they will use pictures where the CEO is smiling and happy and looks very, very intelligent. If a state makes the headlines, the president represents it. If an earthquake takes place, a victim becomes the face of the crisis. This obsession explains the success of a major cultural invention, the novel. This literally killer app projects personal and interpersonal conflicts onto a few individual destinies. A scholar could have written a meaty dissertation about the methods of psychological torture in Puritan New England, but instead, we still read Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter and the Great Depression. In statistical form, this is just a long series of numbers. As a family drama in Steinbeck's The Grapes of Wrath, it is unforgettable. In conclusion, be careful when you encounter human stories. Ask for the facts and the statistical distribution behind them. You can still be moved by the story, but this way you can put it into the right context. If, however, you seek to move and motivate people for your own ends, make sure your tale is seasoned with names and faces. And this is very, very true. So, for example, here in Australia, I'm not sure where everybody else is from. I can see ID Ray Australia is joining us, for example. But here in Australia, we have people on the streets who will collect for charities, mainly World Vision and different other charities. And the interesting thing around it is that most people don't know how this works. By this stage, I think also a lot of people are very weary of them because they run into them hundreds upon hundreds of times. But the point being that these people have a job that is actually paid. And so when I donate my $20 per month or $30 per month to this charity, it's the person that's actually selling it to me that receives the most. However, the pictures that they show, the stories that they tell, the information that they give me to give it a personalization is what gets people to make the donation, not knowing the actual behind the scenes stories of what's really going on or what is going on with regards to the payment and where that money is actually going to. So it is portrayed as if the money all goes to this charity because that's all they talk about. But you come to the realization when you find out about it that a lot of that money actually goes to the person who's collecting it, because otherwise there would be no person collecting it. So the market economy is this fascinating thing where people require payment. And from a charity point of view, it is very strange that the market dictates that this person needs the money, when in actual fact, for some reason, we delude ourselves and believe that the money is all going to the charity and that nobody needs payment and that they would be able to find volunteers to be able to do this work. So it's interesting how these people are not volunteers and that they actually get paid. So always keep an eye out for what is it that I want to achieve for myself, and is somebody using a personalization of a story in order to be able to get me to do something that they want as opposed to what I want to do? Is there a legitimate cause behind what it is that I want to do in this case? So we can do things that make us feel good, but it's also important for us to realize, where is this money going to? Is it really going to assist? Another very quick story that I also read about is called the shoes program. I think it was called buy a pair of shoes and we donate a pair of shoes in Africa. And this is a great idea. However, there are a couple of flaws to it. And one of those is the fact that there are people in these places that don't really need the shoes necessarily. So that's in the first instance. There are also people who make and repair and do all of these different things with shoes in the village. And so this program, yes, it brings shoes that are then free for the people, but it actually destroys the livelihoods of people who make shoes and repair shoes and all of those different kinds of things. So everything has a deeper consequence. So it's good if you are in the process of donating or having a look at deciding anything really. That's why this book is called The Secrets of Perfect Decision Making. When making decisions, take a look deeper, peel some layers of the onion in order to be able to see what's really going on before you make a decision. Because sometimes we'll make decisions in life that seem wonderful and that make us feel good, but that might not actually have the desired effect in real life. And because we take shortcuts, because our brain looks for shortcuts to make the decision-making process easier, very often we will fall for those. So very interesting chapter. And then tomorrow, I'm looking forward to chapter 88. You have no idea what you are overlooking. And the subtitle is Illusion of Attention. So this one should also be a very interesting chapter. So I'm looking forward to reading that one for you. If you'd like to watch the replay of this one or any other chapter that we have already read so far, you can find all the recordings at the Passive Cashflow Club on YouTube. That's the Passive Cashflow Club. We'd love to see you there. And I'd love your comments as well, because right now on BIGO especially, I'm more or less only able to give you my commentary. So that is a great place for you to be able to also give me your thoughts and let me know what your opinions are, because sometimes I agree with the book and sometimes I don't agree as much, and that's completely fine. But I'd love to know where you agree and where you disagree with the book, and potentially also with me. I'm very open to feedback, criticism, etc., etc. If you want to know what I am up to and see some of my social media, you can start by following me on Instagram, and you can find me there at business_team_6_official. And I'd love to see you there and have you follow and see what I'm up to. And if you'd like to reach out personally, you can do that as well, to also discuss anything from the art of thinking clearly, or talk about finance or business or any of those kinds of things. So feel free to reach out there. Business_team_6_official. And I would love to see you there as well. And I'm going to wish you a great day. Go out and have a good weekend. So yeah, chapter 88, not tomorrow, it's Friday. I'll send that to, or we'll read that one on Monday. So I'm looking forward to seeing you then. Have a great weekend. Keep doing some really amazing work today in order to be able to get another step closer to your goals. I'm looking forward to being in touch, and have a great day today. And I'll see you all very soon.